Hand-eye coordination, it's what I'm known for. I've been fortunate in my life. I have visited many places in the world. I've had many interesting discussions with people from all walks of life. Almost all of them, that they were convinced that they were right about everything. Their favourite band was obviously the best in the world. They were real artists. The food they chose as their favourite restaurant was just the best. Their team was the only one that was really worth supporting. The others were a bunch of cheaters. Their political parties were good people who understood the world, and the others were either baboons or evil. Their religion was the only one that was true. There are, though, a few people who I've met who have a slightly different view of the world. There are some who claim that all foods are equally good. All the music is the best as long as you enjoy it. It's only opinion after all. The same can be said of sports teams, political parties, or faiths. I probably agree with them on the subject of food. I'll eat just about anything. Music, and probably even sports teams. Political parties? Some are objectively better than others. There are some parties that wish to remove freedoms and promote corruption. There is no political party, though, which is right in everything they do. They all get things wrong. Human nature ensures that none are free from infighting and being unwilling to accept their mistakes. The subject, though, that I am most certain about is faith. It is absolutely impossible for all the faiths in this world to be right. They could, of course, all be wrong, but what they cannot all be is right. Why do I say this? Well, because all the faiths in this world make what are known as truth claims. That is, they all say something about the state of reality. The problem is that these truth claims are irreconcilably in conflict with each other. They say contradicting things. For example, the atheist faith says there is no God. Almost all other faiths in the world say there is at least one God. So they cannot both be true. The Buddhist faith says that when someone dies, they are reincarnated. Jehovah's Witnesses will say there is no reincarnation. They cannot both be true. The Hindu faith says that there are many gods. The Jewish faith says there is only one. They cannot both be true. Islam teaches that Jesus did not die on the cross. Christianity says that Jesus did die on the cross. Can you see that these two cannot be reconciled in their truth statements? Either one is true and the other is false, or both are false. Both cannot be true. If someone is talking about these faiths as though they can both be true, either they do not know what the truth statements are that are made by these worldviews, so they're ignorant, or they think that all worldviews are just emotional crutches, that they are all false. Therefore, they are arrogant in their condescension, thinking that they are above the little people who need to believe a lie so they can sleep better at night. What they are not is intellectually honest about the claims that are made and the implications by the claims that are made. The fact is that all things cannot be true in the same way at the same time. There are some things that are true and some things that are false. Even the statement, all truths are relative, is an objective truth claim. You're saying that it is true that all truth is relative. John chapter 14:6 says this. Jesus said to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. It is Jesus, not me, that makes the claim here. He said that he is the way. Not a way, the way. The truth. Not a relative truth. Not one of many truths that you can pick between, but the only truth. The life. And to make it clear for those of you who missed the point, Jesus is saying that no one comes to the Father except through him. Jesus' claim is that if you want to get to God, you have to go through him. The claim is that if you go through Buddha, you'll not get to God. Jesus' claim is that if you go through Krishna, you will not get to God. Jesus' claim is that if you go through Mary, you will not get to God. Jesus' claim is if you go through Muhammad, you will not get to God. Are you understanding what Jesus is saying here? One way, and only one, is the claim. Either Jesus is right or he's wrong. There is no middle ground. There is no other way to interpret it. Just before Jesus was arrested and then went to the cross, he's praying and said in Luke 22 and verse 42, Father, if you're willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done. Jesus would not have had to suffer and die if there was another way to have peace between God and man. The cross itself is an exclusive claim. If there had been a way for man to deal with his sin and have peace with God, then Jesus would not have had to come and suffer and die in our place. But he did come. He loved us enough to die in our place, to take the punishment that we deserved so that we might be free, that we might have peace, that we might have a future that is beyond our wildest dreams, that we might have a purpose in this life. So Jesus has made the truth claim. It is an exclusionary truth claim. That means that if it is true, all other claims that contradict it must be false. So if Jesus is claiming that the way to God is through him, and he is right, then there must be a God. If there is a God, then atheism is false. If Jesus is right, then Buddhism, Hinduism, paganism in all its forms, Islam, and any other world religion that you care to mention are wrong. So how do we know if Jesus is right? Well, fortunately, there's a test. Jesus said in John chapter 10, verse 17 and 18, "For this reason the Father loves me, because I lay down my life that I may take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of my own accord. I have authority to lay it down, and I have authority to take it up again." It is the historical claim of the death and resurrection of Jesus that proves that he is right in his truth claims. There are facts that are almost universally accepted by historians who specialize in this time in world history that cannot be sufficiently explained in their totality except from the death, burial, and resurrection of the historical Jesus of Nazareth. So I'd encourage you to look into the evidence yourself. Don't just Google how to prove it wrong. that's not intellectually honest. There have been some of the brightest minds on this planet who, after doing the research themselves, really contemplating the implications of the evidence, came to the conclusion that Jesus is who he said he was, that the claims he made are reliable, and that they have a call upon us and our lives. If Jesus really did die for us, then we have been given an opportunity, and we have a responsibility to respond to the invitation that has been made. We can go to God through Jesus. So what are you waiting for? Thanks very much.